Why is people still talk about Godzilla Minus One? Or why people are talking about Godzilla Minus One? It's a great film. It's a film that does what it needs to. It makes you excited for more films. I've been watching other reviews for the last few days. I watched John Capier's review. Not a big fan of him. Don't care for him. But I watched his review. And the one thing he did say, Minus One got him excited for other films. We have been, let me say this again, ladies and gentlemen. We have been getting films after films after films that have been mediocre, trash, garbage, not great, terrible, shit, mediocre. And it's just been getting to the point where a lot of us are just tired of it. You know, we were looking for that film. The Marvels, people already knew that was mediocre, but when it came out, people were like, no. And it just is, and these superhero films are becoming formulaic. All of them, even DC's. And now people are now seeing like, okay, this is getting too much. And these films are just becoming bad and bad. And these films that have all this money behind it are coming out horrendously bad. Horse shit. Trash. You got studio execs melee in it. You got a agenda-driven film where they're trying to make women empowerment, where fans are telling you, yo, don't, just make a good story. Just make a good story. Make good characters, make a good story. When you watch Godzilla Minus One, this is a Godzilla film. This Godzilla film has the most interesting characters that we have seen in quite some time. You feel for the characters. The film is about Godzilla, and you should root for Godzilla, but you care about the human characters. Not one Godzilla film that's came out from the legendary pictures that I cared for, human-wise. Not one of them. But this film makes you care for him. It deserves every praise, the score they get, whatever, because this is what a film is supposed to do. Then the worst thing about it, the reason people are talking about it too, is not just the human character aspect, the Godzilla, the way it was presented, it's the goddamn budget. That budget of $15 million, they made a film with $15 million, and they did something that even Hollywood has not done in years. Make a great film. How do you make a $15 million budget and that film looks 10 times better than most of the $200 million film? Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania looks like Spy Kids 3D. Not in a good way. Even Spy Kids 3D looked better than that. And that came out almost how many years ago? Well, Godzilla Minus One has a $15 million budget. It looks more than $15 million. Now, some people say, oh, well, it doesn't look better than most Hollywood $200 million film. Yes, it does. Because the passion and care is behind it. They took $15 million US and turned this film into a $100 million film, budget-wise. And you can look at it, it feels like it might be $100 million, but it's only 15. We might stretch it out to 20 to 25 million. That's still fucking good. That's incredible. The 2014 Godzilla film that came out with Garth Evers, that's the film that he actually wanted to make. But they wanted to make Godzilla more of a hero, which I understand that. Easy to sell toys. But that film had a budget of $150 million. I believe it did. Or 100 to 150 million, close to it. It wasn't 200 million, I know that, but it was close to it. Now the sequels, they had a little bit more of a budget. But you get what I'm saying. People are talking about it because the budget. People are talking about it, how good the characters was, how Godzilla was presented. He was used the right amount of time. Did I want to see more of him? Yes. But the human characters were so well written. The human characters came out so good, all of them, that I was okay with it. Now, if they do a sequel, which they're going to do a sequel, then I would want more Godzilla in it, especially if he takes on other monsters. But arguably, people are talking about this film because it stands on its own 2 feet, because that's a great film it is. But I could say so much praise about it like no one else has, but it is what it is. Godzilla Minus One is not arguably the best film of the year. Godzilla Minus One is the best film in the last 2 to 3 years for some people. For me, it's the best film in the last 2 to 3 years. Really. I have not went to a film, came out saying, that was a great film. I've always went to a film the last 2 years and said, that was a good film. It was okay. This is the first time I came out in years and say this was a great film. Because there was care put in it. There was passion put in it. There was love put in it. These Hollywood films today don't. The Marvels came out. I didn't go see it because I already knew what I was going to get. Black Adam came out last year. I thought it was okay. Do I think it was the worst film on the planet? I've seen worse. Black Adam, I'll say this, Black Adam that came out last year in October was probably the best superhero film I've seen from Ant-Man and the Wasp, from The Flash, from Blue Beetle, and from, what's the other film? The Marvels. It was better than Guardians? No, but it wasn't far off. Would it be better than Aquaman? More than likely, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on with that film too. And these are superhero films. Godzilla reminds me of how you know, back in the 80s and 70s, we had a lot of these low-budget science fiction adventure films like the Indiana Jones of the world, the Jaws of the world, the Godzillas of the world. You know, these small films, but you could tell the directors and creators and people behind these projects were really took care. They were really behind it because they were passionate about it. That's what Godzilla Minus One is. It's a throwback. It's a throwback to how films are supposed to be made and how it's supposed to be presented. No political agenda, no BS, no execs involved, nothing to hurt the vision of this film. I want more films like that. Because I think it was, and I'll be quick with this. The last time I went to a film, and I'd say it was a great film, and I just came out of it, and it was science fiction, not like a war piece, not a history piece, not a freaking slavery piece, if you want to call those films. I just don't care for those too much because I got enough of them. No Color Purple was Looper, done by Rian Johnson. I thought that film was great because it was something, they took a time travel thing, spun it. Yes, they used a little bit 12 Monkeys here, which is an homage to that because fucking Bruce Willis, who was in the damn film, 12 Monkeys. So you see that a little bit. But the concept of it, the execution of it, the filming of it, it was fucking perfect. It was perfect because the budget was so low and it stood on its own 2 feet. They didn't win a lot of awards, but it got people talking. And it was my favorite film. But it definitely got its money back. Blumhouse is doing stuff greatly because they turn they use $10 million. They could bring back home by $100 million. It's a goddamn profit. So his studio is never going to ever go away. But yeah, that's why people talk about Godzilla Minus One. It's just a great film. Not a great monster film. Not a great science fiction film. Not a great Japanese. It's a great film in general. Great film. Amazing film. Some say masterpiece. It's close to it. Some say the best thing since sliced bread. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had bread the other day. It was fucking good. So was Godzilla Minus One. But it stands on their own 2 feet. When I watched that film, it inspired me to make a film similar to that. That same formula. Not the Marvel formula. Not a DC formula. Not a Jurassic Park formula. Not a Universal Fast and the Furious formula. But that formula of just a great film. Taking films that inspire you to be a filmmaker and blending it together and respect it in homage. That scene of Godzilla when they were on the dam in the ocean and Godzilla would come in. I have never seen no shit like that before. In Jaws, I've seen that. But not on that level of Godzilla looking like this goddamn big-ass submarine. And you look at it like, holy shit. And it looked very, very good. That alone right there is a film. And then they have other scenes with him using that atomic breath. But that scene alone, if they had a scene for Oscar-worthy scene of the year, that motherfucker scene right there. I have never seen that before. It blew me away. So, but as always, guys, like, subscribe. Peace, have a Johnson. I could go on and on about it. I love the film. You guys go check it out. And they're actually leaving it in theaters a lot more, so go check it out. I'm going to see it again, as always. Peace. Have a Johnson day.